Well, this is cool, man. It has been a little while, but I am happy he is back. He's always been good to us. Joining us now here on GCR, a Baltimore Raven once again. We welcome back Brent Urban to Baltimore, and he is with us now here on the program. Brent, it's Glenn. It's so good to chat with you again, man. So cool how this worked out. Thank you for taking a couple of minutes for us.
Absolutely, man. I'm excited. Yeah, great to be back and good to be talking to you.
Dude, tell me how this came about. Like, tell me when this was on your radar that it could work out, and like, were you as kind of giddy about it as like, honestly, and no offense to you, I'm not trying to make it seem like you're not a great player, but like, you're not Ray Lewis, but yet the city of Baltimore seemed to be pretty fired up about the news that you were coming back here.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think my agent kind of mentioned it as a possibility. Um, Honestly, not too long ago, like within a week ago, and as soon as I heard Ravens, I was excited and brought up all the memories, kind of years past, and um, just the great times I had here. So, yeah, it was super exciting. After looking at social media and that all that kind of stuff after I signed, I definitely was surprised with the how much positive kind of cheering and like all the great messages were. I'm a low key guy, so it was nice to see. Obviously, I'm a run stopper and don't get much of the glory. So, I wasn't expecting that a whole lot, but it was great to be kind of embraced by Baltimore, and it's a place I love with tons of memories. So yeah, it was great.
What was the best thing like the thing that molded you the most during your time here, starting in 14, that run from 14 to 18, that you carried with you? What was the biggest impact that Baltimore made on your life during your first tenure with the Ravens?
Um, a lot, man. Like, I guess probably the biggest thing is just overcoming like adversity. All those injuries I kind of
Mhm.
had early on. I didn't know if I was going to cut it in the league. It was, a whole lot with an ACL right away, and then I tore my bicep the next year. I just had to learn how to kind of get through that stuff and not worry about it, and kind of the support system here, and Coach Harbs and Ozzy and Eric, and all the support I kind of had getting back from that, man, was um, it was huge for me, and
Oh, you're good. I didn't know if there was something going
sorry.
on there. It sounded like there was something happening
Yeah.
in the background. I didn't know if it was a
Yeah, you might want
problem.
to cut this. Sorry, it's 1 second, man.
You're good, Brent. No worries, brother. Brent Urban is with us here on Glenn Clark Radio. Let him get things straightened away as he's taking some time for us and kindly joining us here on the program after he re-signed in Baltimore, returning to the organization where he spent 4 years from 2014. I guess it's 5 years, 2014 to 2018. Had spent last season with the Cowboys and now back in Baltimore and back in action. Brent, you there? You good?
I'm there.
All
Yeah,
right,
I'm
man.
good.
All right. I always get worried whenever I've had sirens go off during interviews. There are things where people are like, "I'm trying to make my way through." I always worry about that. Brent, how are
It
you
was the
different?
cleaning lady,
Oh,
but yeah,
okay.
go ahead.
Got you. How are you different? In what ways are you different than the guy that we last saw here in 2018?
Um, Man, I guess a lot of things really. I think the number one thing that sticks out is probably I'm a much smarter player. Um, Having to kind of adapt to new schemes and different fronts and kind of different defenses really where wasn't the greatest fit for me honestly. It kind of allowed me to just become a more versatile player. Like I have snaps from Chicago where I was playing like zero nose, and
Mm.
I've played probably every single technique that exists on a defensive front at this point, and kind of learn to excel in that kind of position where I'll fit in kind of wherever the defense needs me and play quality snaps. So I think just versatility and just knowledge of the game has gone up a tremendous amount since my first time here.
And of course, we also know you're plenty capable of blocking a kick from time to time too. We got a few memories of some of the abilities of you doing that from back in the day. Brent Urban is with us here on GCR. Brent, the way obviously a lot's changed, right? Like it's not all the same guys aren't in the locker room. Although the quarterback that arrived late in your tenure is still here, and that's pretty exciting. What is it about this franchise now that you've been out for a few years? Did it give you? We hear constantly about how things are different in Baltimore, and it's not the same in every place. And I know you're not going to disparage any of the other places that you've been, but did you get a feel for that, and was any amount of that part of what made this interesting to you coming back here?
Yeah, I think the Ravens have shown like a loyalty to guys who have played there before, and um, they always kind of bring in vets that really kind of help round out the roster every single year. Since I was there my rookie year, you kind of there's always these older guys who've kind of been there before or had some connection to the team where they're able to kind of bring in that leadership and kind of help take the team to the next level. So I think um, just once a Raven, always a Raven. There's guys like Tony Jefferson. I look at Anthony
Mm,
Levine. A
mm.
lot of familiar faces that were. Josh Bynes, I think, was there my rookie year. So yeah, just they kind of bring back and take care of their own, and kind of find guys to bring back to just add to the team. So it's kind of that great sense of loyalty and family and kind of all those values and stuff that I really appreciate and factored into my decision to come back.
I know Mike McDonald was here, but he wasn't necessarily working with your group when you were here. Did you get to know him at all? Like, did you? I mean, I'm sure you were aware of him, but did you know him at all? And what is it? Is it kind of weird for you knowing now, like this is who your coordinator turned out to be?
Yeah, it's kind of cool, man. When you've been around long enough, where you see guys kind of work up the ladder and come into very important roles, and seeing his rise. I think he was a linebacker assistant when I was there.
Mm-hmm.
I did get to know him really well. Yeah, he's been a great guy always, and kind of knew he had a bright future. And yeah, to see his rise is great, man. It's exciting. It's great to have a young coordinator with a ton of energy and kind of bring something new to the table. So yeah, I'm super excited to see him again, and excited to see kind of what wrinkles he kind of brings to this defense.
It's awesome. That's awesome, man. That's really cool that you guys had that relationship. Let's talk about the newsmaker in the family. Brent, is your wife gunning for Adam Schefter's job now at this point? Like, how's that going to work moving forward? Do you have to start to tell some of your teammates, hey, like you might need to let the Urban family know so we can be the first to report it moving forward. There's an expectation now that my wife is going to be the one breaking the news.
That's right. Yeah, I think like we need some scoops here. So I think if any guys have anything, I'll lay it down kind of first day. If you have any big moves you want to announce, anything like that, we got an outlet here. It's a unbiased outlet close to the team. So yeah, no, it's fun, man. She has a good time on social media, and it's a great time interacting with the fans and all that kind of stuff. And it's great. So it's always fun to see her kind of just interact with people and do the little announcements and all that kind of stuff. It's pretty
It's cool.
fun.
It's cool. And also, I like the fact that it's a source we can trust, right? Like, whereas a lot of times we see something on Twitter, we're like, I don't know. I'm going to need somebody else to report it. This one, we were actually quite confident that we could believe that that was the
Exactly.
case when she reported.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not a lie, so it's yeah, it's a reputable source for sure.
Do you want to talk about the Maple Leafs at all, or do you just want to kind of move on?
I mean, yeah, like I'm not as disappointed as years past about the Leafs, I will say. I mean,
Really?
Tampa Bay looks like a heck of a
Dude.
team, man. You see what they're
Dude.
doing to the Florida Panthers right now, and um, gives you a little hope for the future. We took them to 7 games. Yes, we should have finished it, but I think the history of how we've played in elimination games is tough and it hurts and isn't fun to bring up. But I think there's a little bit of like positives you can kind of glean from what happened. So it is what it is. We're used to, as a Leafs fan, we're used to misery. So it's nothing too new. So we'll get over it and just keep
Oh,
cheering them on, man.
that's rough. Boy, that sounds like, but it's in a weird way. It sounds somewhere between like pleasantly Canadian, which is like you guys are just so nice that like ver. But then it moves into like the territory of damn near depressing. Like, oh yeah, it's how it always is. We're always gonna be losers. Like, man, that is rough.
Yeah, it's
That
kind of sad, but it's okay. Well,
Oh,
man, it's
you're so right about the Lightning, about and I hate to say this to you, like I definitely before that series said, what are we doing here? Like, the Lightning are the two-time defending Cup champs, and they were playing really well coming into the playoffs. And yet they
hmm
like, and I'm a bit of a betting man myself. They were sitting at like 11-1 to win the Stanley Cup. I'm like, I think I might go ahead and throw a couple of bucks on the team that knows how to do it, winning the Stanley Cup again. Um,
100%. Yeah,
like,
they're an absolute. They're gunning to be a dynasty. To do that in hockey is just insane. All the crazy bounces and stuff that happens, and it's one of the toughest sports to go three straight, not even two straight. So yeah, that was a tough draw for the Leafs. Once I saw we had them first round, I was worried instantly. So
so
yeah.
tell me how this works for Canadian fans. Like, do you then sort of embrace like, hey, I kind of would like it. I would like to see the cup finally come back to north of the border. So if it's not going to be my team, I'll root for whoever wins the Edmonton Calgary series. Or if it's not your team, does it just not matter to you at all who ends up hoisting the cup?
Yeah, I'm just enjoying the games at this point. I think it would be good to see a Canadian team make it. Um, that would be kind of special. I think the Calgary Edmonton series is the series I'm watching every game of. The other series I'll watch, if it's on or whatever. But I'm making a point to kind of watch that series not only for the rivalry, but yeah, I think it would be nice to see a Canadian
Okay.
team raise the cup. So I think, yeah, I think a little bit, but at the same time, it's a Maple Leaf fan through and through, so it's reluctantly cheer on,
I hear
Calgary,
it's not
Edmonton.
going to mean as much, but it would still be.
hmm
I get it's been a long time. It's been a really long time since come
Oh
back
yeah,
north.
oh
By the way, if I'm
yeah.
getting 9 to 6 games every night, I would watch every game. My God, that series has been so insane, just
So
wild,
good,
right?
so
Like
good.
it's been incredible. Brent, I know how involved you were. I mean, you were always a guy doing my cause, my cleats, and getting involved with various groups. I know you did show your soft side. Like, is there something as you come back to Baltimore, you say, I really want to do this again now that I'm back, or I want to get hooked up with these folks again now that I'm back?
Yeah, I think yeah, you named it. Like show your soft side. They've done great things, while I was here last, and have done a great job. My wife's like super, super involved with the kind of the animal shelters where we live in Nashville in the off season. So she's heavily involved with the organization there, Wags and Walks, that all also make
It's
it
cool.
out to, there's some events or donate or that kind of thing. So I think, you know, dog shelters is a great cause, and one we kind of keep our eyes on type of thing. So I think I'll definitely be involved to show your soft side,
It's
and
awesome.
look forward to collaborating with them in the future.
I've been even more involved with them in the last couple of years. I actually was the MC for Project Runway this year, Brent, and I wore
Oh, were you
I wore a
awesome? Yeah, I
blazer.
remember I had a great time there.
Dude, I wore a blazer that was like Christmas cats all over it. And
Nice.
it got all sorts of love. Like literally people just coming up, "Can I just take a picture with you?" I was just they had no idea who I was. They're like, "Hey, random
That's
person
awesome.
that's wearing a cool blazer. Can you do it?" It's such a great group and that's so cool. I'm so excited that you'll get hooked back up with them. Um
Absolutely.
and then I guess like now the goal is like winning a Super Bowl, right? Like that's the part that's unspoken. You've done so many things. You stayed in the league for a while. You've made some money. You've accomplished things, but like now it's time to go win a Super Bowl, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I think that was obviously a factor too in my decision. You want to go to a good team, and Ravens have always been on my radar, not only just because I played here before, but because they've been a vastly ascending team and have done a really great job the past couple of years. So I think it's a team that has a ton of talent. It's a young team, and it's a team that's poised to make a run. So yeah, absolutely. I think I've played in I think I've lost in the first round every time I made the playoffs, and that
Oof.
goes last 3 times I made the playoffs. So
Oof.
definitely looking to make a run here, as my career kind of winds down. So that's definitely a very important thing, and I think we have a great shot here.
That's cool, man. And how about you? Like, you might Pierce comes back too at the same time. Like, it's such a cool thing.
Hmm.
It's such a cool thing the way it's worked out. All right,
Yeah, it's awesome.
Brent Urban, remind me Twitter. If I remember correctly, Urban Legend 96, correct?
Yep, at Urban Legend 96 on Twitter and Instagram there. So
Excellent. Give him a follow there. Dude, it's so cool. So cool
right.
that this works out that you're back here. You've always been an awesome guy in this community. And as you pointed out, there's a lot of people that are really excited about having you back here in Baltimore. Can't wait to see you out there in Owings Mills. Thank you, as always, taking the time for us, Brent.
Yeah, thanks so much, man. It was great talking.